Hello and welcome to this episode So You Missed Lab, where we make everything up. Today's lab is Properties of Solutions. In this lab, we will explore how polarity and bond types affect solubility. In the first step, we will examine the effect of surface area of solute and shaking the sample has on the rate of dissolving. We have a sample with a single large crystal of copper sulfate pentahydrate and two samples with smaller crystals. These three samples are equal in mass. We've added 5 milliliters of distilled water to 3 test tubes. We will transfer the crystals into the test tubes, stopping the first 2 so they can be gently shaken. The third test tube will remain unstoppered and at rest. In test tube 1, we can see that the large crystal has not completely dissolved. In test tube 2, the small crystals have completely dissolved. In test tube 3, the small crystals that weren't shaken, we can still see some undissolved crystals in the bottom. Record this in data chart 1. In step 2, we have 5 milliliters of distilled water on the hot plate and 5 mils of cold water in the graduated cylinder. In the test tubes, we have equal masses of small crystal copper sulfate pentahydrate. We will add the hot water to one test tube and now the cold water to the other test tube. Stopper the test tubes and shake. In test tube 4, which had the hot water, we see that the crystals have completely dissolved. In test tube 5, with the cold water, we see undissolved crystals. Record this in data chart 1. In this next step, we start with 30 mils of distilled water in a beaker on the hot plate. We will then add 10 drops of aqueous ammonia and 4 drops of phenolphthalein indicator. Stir briefly and then heat. Note any change in color intensity in data chart number 2. In this next series of tests, we'll examine the solubility of solvents in each other. Equal amounts of 2 liquids are placed in test tubes and shaken. You will record your observations in data chart number 3. In test tube A, we have distilled water and ethanol, and we see no distinct layers. In test tube B, we have distilled water and octanol. In this case, we see 2 distinct layers. Finally, test tube C is ethanol and octanol, and once again, we have no distinct layers. In this final set of tests, we'll be examining a variety of solute and solvent combinations. Record your observations in data chart number 4. The first combination is distilled water and KCl.
No crystals.
In test B, we have KCl and ethanol.
Crystals.
In step C, we have KCl and acetone.
Crystals.
In step D, we're looking at vinegar and distilled water.
No layers.
In E, we're looking at vinegar and ethanol.
No layers.
In F, we're looking at vinegar and acetone.
Layers.
In G, we have glycerol and distilled water.
No layers.
H is glycerol and ethanol.
No layers.
I is glycerol and acetone.
Layers.
J is naphthalene and distilled water.
Crystals.
K is naphthalene and ethanol.
Crystals.
L is naphthalene and acetone.
No crystals.
All right, guys. Looks like we've made everything up. Now it's time to clean up.